The Three Builders, A Story of Purpose and Perspective. Presented by Zahra Motivation. Once upon a time, in a land filled with mountains, rivers, and vibrant villages, a seasoned traveler named Elias set out on a long journey to find inspiration and meaning in life. Elias had wandered across many cities, spoken to kings and commoners, tasted both riches and hardship, yet he felt an emptiness, a longing for something deeper. One bright morning, as the sun climbed steadily over the eastern hills, Elias arrived at a small village that buzzed with activity. Birds chirped in harmony with the rhythmic clinking of hammers and chisels. He followed the sounds until he came upon a vast construction site at the edge of the village. There, he saw three men working side by side in the blazing heat of midday, laying bricks one after another. Each was doing the exact same physical task, mixing mortar, lifting bricks, aligning them with precision, yet each man looked and behaved very differently. Intrigued, Elias approached the first man. The first builder, a life of resentment. The man appeared to be in his early 40s. His clothes were worn and stained with years of labor. Sweat rolled down his neck as he bent low, slowly and painfully placing bricks with little interest. His face was lined with frustration, and his shoulders slumped with exhaustion. Elias greeted him kindly and asked, "Excuse me, sir, may I ask what you are doing?" The man didn't look up. He grumbled, "Can't you see? I'm laying bricks, of course. I do this every single day from sunrise to sunset. It's backbreaking work, and for what? A few miserable coins that barely feed my family. There's nothing joyful about this job. I hate it, but I have no choice." Elias nodded sympathetically and asked, "How long have you been doing this?" 10 years, the man replied bitterly. 10 long years. And every day feels the same. This wall, that wall, who cares? They build it, they tear it down, nothing changes. I just want the day to be over. Elias thanked him and walked on, feeling the weight of the man's discontent. He had seen people like this before, trapped not by their circumstances, but by the way they saw them. The second builder, a life of duty. A few steps ahead, Elias came across the second man. This man was in his 30s, taller and more muscular. His hands moved with methodical precision. Unlike the first, he occasionally paused to straighten his back and drink water. His face, though tired, held calm determination. "What are you doing?" Elias asked him. The man stood up, looked Elias in the eyes, and answered, "I'm building a wall. It's hard work, but it's honest. This wall is part of a big structure that will bring jobs and growth to the village. I do this to earn a living, but also because I believe in doing a job right. My father taught me that." Elias smiled. "So you take pride in your work?" The man nodded. "Yes, I do. It feeds my family. My children are in school now." As Elias walked on, he thought about the second man's sense of responsibility. There was strength in his words, not passion, but purpose. It was admirable. Yet Elias still felt something was missing. The third builder, a life of vision. Finally, he approached the third man. He was older, perhaps in his 50s, but his energy was unmatched. He worked with a rhythm that seemed almost musical, placing each brick with a gentle precision, stepping back often to examine his progress with pride. His eyes sparkled with joy, and he hummed softly as he worked. Elias watched for a moment before asking, "Sir, may I ask what you are doing?" The man looked up with a broad smile, wiped his hands, and said, "Ah, my friend, I am building a cathedral." Elias raised an eyebrow. "A cathedral?" "Yes," the man said with a gleam in his eye. "A place of peace, beauty, and worship. One day, people will travel from far and wide to stand here, to pray, to sing, to be inspired. This place will become a symbol of hope for generations. I may not live to see it completed, but I am proud to be part of something that will outlast me." Elias stood in awe. But you're still just laying bricks, aren't you? The man chuckled. That's what it may look like on the surface. But I am laying the foundation of dreams, one brick at a time. Every movement I make, every layer I build, carries intention. I imagine the future as I work. That vision gives my labor meaning. 3 men, 1 task, 3 worlds apart. Elias sat down under a nearby tree, pondering what he had just witnessed. All 3 men were doing the same task. Laying bricks. Yet each man lived in a completely different reality. The first man saw his work as a burden, a punishment he was forced to endure. The second man saw it as a means to an end, a job that paid the bills and offered security. The third man saw it as a mission, a contribution to something greater than himself. Elias realized then that it wasn't the work that defined their lives, it was their perspective. Lessons from the bricks. As the sun began to set, Elias reflected deeper on the meaning of the day's encounter. Attitude shapes experience. That simple truth echoed in his heart. Life often presents us with the same tools, the same bricks, but it's how we choose to see them, use them, and believe in them that determines the quality of our lives. You can curse the bricks, or you can build a masterpiece. You can resent your job, or find pride in the lives it helps you sustain. You can simply exist, or you can create legacy. The man who laid bricks with resentment lived in constant frustration. He gave his time, but not his heart. The man who built the wall gave both, his strength and his values. But the man who built the cathedral gave everything, his energy, his passion, his imagination, and his vision for a better tomorrow. He was not merely a worker. He was an architect of purpose. Which one are you? Every day, we're all laying bricks. Some of us work in offices, some in fields, some at home. But the question is, how do you see your work? Do you see it as a burden, a duty, or a calling? When you wake up in the morning, do you drag your feet, or do you see the opportunity to build something meaningful? Because the truth is, even the smallest task can become sacred if done with the right spirit. Even the humblest job can become a part of something historic if you believe in the bigger picture. Your attitude doesn't just change your day, it shapes your destiny. The cathedral within. That night, Elias wrote in his journal. I met 3 men today who showed me the mirror of life. All were bricklayers, yet only one built a cathedral. I now understand, purpose is not given. It is chosen. It is created. It is lived. The next morning, Elias left the village, forever changed. And somewhere in that same village, the man who built the cathedral kept working, brick by brick, building not just walls, but legacy. A strong message for you. This story is not just about those 3 men, it's about you. What are you building with your life? Are you counting the hours, or are you making the hours count? Are you trapped in routine, or are you shaping your own cathedral? Remember, it's not the job that defines your spirit, it's the spirit that transforms your job. So whatever you do, wherever you are, bring your heart, your hope, and your highest self to the task. Because in the end, it's not about the bricks, it's about the vision behind them. This was a Zahra motivation story. If this story touched your heart, sparked a new perspective, or inspired you to see your life differently, then don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to Zahra Motivation for more life-changing stories. Let's build a world where passion, purpose, and positivity lead the way. Because somewhere out there, someone is waiting for your cathedral. Stay inspired. Stay driven. And keep building.